Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Juicy Brick, for the 29 months. Magician the Maker, the 27. Thank you, thank you. We are day 3 in the Lost Cavern of Ixalan Brews, and I think this is the best one I've played, or we're going to play so far. This is I think our initial testing is that both our Stalker, I always stutter so much. Stalker and Souls of the Lost have both been performing very well, I think. Stalker specifically has been like an incredible one-drop every single time we've had it in our opening hand. It is just, Menace, it's kind of easy to underrate how powerful this effect is, but just, it is basically a 1-mana 2/2 that can't be blocked, that gets that grows by 1 every single turn, and occasionally you can use it as a piece of interaction as well. Souls of the Lost, also a card that has been impressive so far in the Grixis deck. I think the Grixis deck is like every single time we drew this card, it was really doing its thing. When we didn't, the deck was like kind of slow and a little bit clunkier. But this card was just so gigantic, and when you're pairing it with cards like Stitcher Supplier, Bloodghast, Gravecrawler, you turn the downside of having to sacrifice a permanent or discard a card into, I think, like just an upside, just like making your deck go a little bit faster. And this card is just this card gets very, very, very big. In this deck, it's going to be a little bit smaller, I think, than of course a lot smaller than it is in the Crabvine deck. You're only going to have your super, super fast Souls of the Lost when you have Stalker, but it's still going to grow very, very quickly in deck with 12 fetch lands, lots of sacrifice synergies. Kind of more like a Tarmogoyf-esque card in this shell than than a Hogak, maybe. But this is a shell we've played a little bit in the past. We've had some like okay success with this like mono black zombie Cauldron shell, and this is also kind of what I want to highlight about like why it is we do what we do here. It's like it always feels like you get paid off for exploring avenues like the mono black Cauldron shell that we've been playing with for the last like few weeks a little bit. Like we had again middling records. It was like nothing too bad, nothing too good, kind of unexciting, but there was like I think a lot of potential in the shell, and like you just needed like 1 or 2 new buffs for the archetype to have maybe some real potential, and like having Stalker and Souls of the Lost immediately get printed, the fact that we already have the shell hammered out for the most part is exciting, although tweaking and tuning it did take a little bit of time off stream. I'm excited. Let's get going. I just like how low the curve is. I like the amount of you have a surprise. Yeah, Sylvoon is good. Yeah, Dryad is good. Yeah, there's a few, but the barrier to entry is certainly very high. Alright, he's gonna mulligan the 1-lander on the draw here. I was very much waffling on the decision to include Witch's Cottage or not. I'm going to mulligan a 1-lander again, I guess. I feel like kind of sad about double 1-land opener. We're on the draw here. We got, curve. Knighted Reliquary is playable. Apparently just won something. TBD. Yeah, Shardless Agent. Yeah, there's some. Alright. Being able to Agatha's Soul Cauldron or Stalker into a Ballista can be pretty nice. I will say that if we're up against a Bean deck and we're on a mold of 5, it's going to be particularly tough to win, though. The Stalker plus DRC both being 1-drops, so like Bobble, get your gears turning. They both like Bobble, but like to some extent, Dragon Rage's Channeler likes non-creature spells, and Channeler likes non-creature spells, and Stalker likes creatures and like permanents that go to the graveyard. It's not exactly 1-for-1, but that's kind of an issue between playing both the cards. But you could just maybe play this in Grixis Shadow. Which, at some point has been something that people have considered to be a deck. Mounted with the 14 months, thank you, welcome back. Yeah, I'm starting to worry I'm a little colorblind. People keep calling this, it is a little blue. I don't know, it doesn't actually look blue to me. It looks like just black and white. So I think we still do have the Phyrexian Crusader tech for the Bean matchup. Keter with the 5, Nano Chip with the 2 months. Lots of resubs today. Thank y'all. It's definitely blue. Yeah, it really just does not look blue to me. Okay, well, if we could draw a 1-mana creature here, I think we can like keep the pressure up pretty well. I don't think I'm colorblind. Surely I would know, right? If I was. We don't draw a creature, and unfortunately, we'll probably just fall too far behind on our Mold of 5 here. No, these aren't blue light filter glasses anymore. These are prescription. I started the stream as a man who could see just fine, and then I stood in front of a monitor as a full-time job, and I stopped being able to see just fine. Okay, we'll draw a land next turn. I'll concede, I think. Not a land. I think Cauldron back another Ballista is okay. Well, that's what the Stalker. Stalker does have, activated ability. Yeah, these are swamps. where I have no colorblind defenders in the chat either. Everybody in the chat can see just fine. Everybody has perfect color vision. We all know that these are definitely blue lands. Alright, I think I'm actually packing it in a little early here. It's just like so nauseating playing against the beans on the Mold of 5 and these kind of decks. That being said, we've got the Crusaders. We could bring in the Fulminators on the play also. It can be a little bit difficult to like lock them underneath it though. For the most part, like I want to cut the Priest and bring in the Crusaders. Yeah, I think it's just too high on the curve also to bring in like 8 extra 3-drops. Now, one key to this matchup is drawing the Phyrexian Crusader, but if you do, you can buff it up sometimes with your Agatha's Soul Cauldron with a Carrion Feeder Ballista, or just the Cauldron itself. They legit have online tests? Yeah, I don't really want to do one. It's okay, chat. Please just continue to... Like, I would like to see some, like, new jokes about the Blue Islands, though. I feel like we could do a little bit better. Playing a new cards of this brew? No, it's... I decided just to play... No, we're playing 4 Souls Lost, 4 Stalkers. Ooh, it could be a miscalibrated monitor, and then that's, like, why the light has been so harsh and destroyed my eyes. Another one-lander. Yeah, okay, this hand is, like, kind of has everything, though. I mean, having Crusader in your hand in this matchup is just such a big deal. The matchup is very, very slow. You'll get there eventually. We also have a relevant and good play every single turn. We also have Bowmasters is super good in the matchup. We can, like, miss our land drop for, like, a few turns and be okay. Dead again, unfortunately, though. Hopefully we won't miss a land for infinite turns. I feel okay about the keep. Mill 2 lands. We draw a land here, we can Bowmaster, be a big deal. No such luck. Tage with the 24 months, happy 2 years. The trim with the 12 months, thank you as well. Well, okay, yeah, what could we have done to prevent this? I think it's fine, right? Because like if we just draw a land in the top 3, I think this hand is pretty strong. In this matchup specifically. Yeah, I feel okay. Just if we were able to play the Bowmaster here this turn, it would have been a little extra good. But there we go. Now I need to think. It probably is just almost always going to be correct for me to Bowmaster this turn. I should be able to attack, though. Yeah, a whole year of Spike Brews. Let's go. Okay, they're just going to take 2. It's fine. Can I explain why Cauldron is good in this deck? I feel like you have very few activated abilities. I have 4 Walking Ballista, 4 Carrion Feeder, 4 Priest of Fell Rights, to Scorn-Blade Berserker. And then we also have like Stitcher Supplier to like fill the yard with those cards, which I feel like, and also like Carrion Feeder and Supplier. So Carrion Feeder and Stalker both like put counters on themselves for your Ballista Cauldron stuff to be better. I think I killed the Starless Agent. Yeah, Bowmaster also has counters too, of course. Oh my gosh, I did not mean to attack with the Bowmaster. Wow, they just don't block. Okay, okay. I meant to attack with everything besides the Bowmaster. Probably put on the weakest creature here. Yeah, Stalker's been really good so far. I think it's been like the biggest overperformer. Is 2/2 army better than 2/2 feeder? Wow, this concedes. It's kind of funny to like play against a bean deck that goes turn 3 like turn 1 kill your 1-drop, agent into beans, Omnath on turn 4. I missed my second land drop twice. And they just died at random shitters. I guess Bowmaster's maybe not random shitter. I say there's just no lands in their hand. I don't even know. It's like either no lands or all lands. Wow, we have a 2-lander. Now we're unstoppable. And double Bowmasters. If only we could have milled that. Mill a Carrion Feeder and Scorn-Blade Berserker, an activated ability for our Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Bowmaster looks like one poster. Yeah, what do y'all think about these blue Orcish Bowmasters? Very blue to me. Is one thing I don't like about them, but I think they look pretty good. I have Bowmasters and stuff in paper. Oh, don't ice me, dude. Ice is so good. It's just literal time walk. Hate the black borders. Am I trolling? Trolling about what? The orange Orcish Bowmasters? Man, fire is so good, dude. So if I play Souls of the Lost, it is gigantic. Also, every card in the deck is a permanent, so if you like sack the Supplier here, like 4, it would be 7 power creature if we sack the Supplier. That being said, we're up against a bean deck. We gotta play our Bowmasters. Oh, sorry. You need to let the Beanstalk draw trigger go on the stack here. Our blue Orcish Bowmasters. Fair. This 1 damage face, yeah, I have an extra. My orc army is bigger here. I either have either a 10 or I have a 3/3 orc army. It's very relevant to have counters on the orc army too, because I have Cauldron Ballista. Third Beanstalk. Too bad they're not in the side into Rhino stack. Yeah, the classic side into the worst card tech. If draw land, we'll play the Crusader, I think. I think I just have to activate the Cauldron here. So I think we need more lands. I mean, we curve out at 2. I think 19 lands is pretty fine. We also got like pretty flooded game 1. So targeting the token, not the Cauldron. But then they endurance my Ballista. Pitching an agent. Like, we kept a 2-lander here. We have 17 lands in the deck. We're on the draw. The odds of us drawing 0 lands and 5 draw steps is, like, probably, like, less than, like, 3 or 4%. You know, we're just, you know, just a regular first match of twitch.tv/aspiring spike. No, not 3 or 4%. Like, less than 10 for sure, though. 19 lands with 12 fetches, so by the time you have 2 lands to play, you have to have 15 land in the deck. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big, like, deck thinning matters a lot kind of guy. Street race could be fun for cycling, a little bit of combat trick with souls. Yeah. He also triggers Stalker. But was I really off about that? 86%? One or more, 17 from 5. I thought it would be much higher than that. Feels a little early to pack it in, especially having Crusader. I guess I could also go for Cauldron. Ooh, I hit build 2 Bloodghasts. Yeah, let's go for Ballista on 0. Cauldron. Stalker. And then I can have like two damage from the ballista, from the Stalker Ballista coming. I don't know. Do I kill the Teferi here? I think no. I think I want to be able to put myself in a spot where I can just draw an Orcish Bowmaster and then kill them. But although, like, if they just have an Omnath first, we're gonna be kind of dead. We'll play it up. yeah. We have to kind of, if we top deck Orcish Bowmaster, they don't have Omnath right now. We're in, I think, pretty good shape. So no Omnath this turn. That's obviously step 1. This Bloodghast also has haste for what it's worth. So we didn't draw Bowmaster. Hard to imagine that we have a better line, though, than... I guess... Yeah, just have to... I think we just have to play the 3rd Bloodghast. Instant Speed Verdict. These decks, I don't think almost ever play Supreme Verdict, but... Could be wrong. You have Fire for 2 of the things. Okay, so let's go ahead and save one of the Bloodghasts with the Cauldron. They're dead if they have nothing else. So and they can't have another red card either. There's a fetch shot go down to 4. A black 1-drop is a really high caliber card. We have it here. Let's go to mulligan this in the blind on the draw. A lot of one-landers today. Probably have to keep this one. Put back the second priest. Getting Thoughtseized. Oh, the equipment. Yeah, I think the equipment's kind of interesting. I think that for the most part, the only deck I would really be interested in playing it in is Hardened Scales. The thing is, it's like it's much like if you want an equipment, a lot of times it's gonna be better to get Shadow Spear for like the lifelink trample. If you want a counter doubler, the Ozolith is almost always going to be better. I don't know that they're going to be really many, if any, situations where you're going to be like just very excited to have both. Okay, Voidwalker is very, very good against us. You know, I'll take being 1-0 on the day for 3 of the 4 hands we kept being one-landers and having mulligans like 4 times. I'll take it. Isn't it Hardened Scales you can get off Urza Saga? No, it is much worse than a Hardened Scales. It is definitely not equivalent to a Hardened Scales you can get off Urza Saga. It is much worse than that. The Ozolith is much closer to that. The Ozolith is much better. Y'all read the freaking Ozolith, dude. It just like doesn't get blown out by removal. It always saves all of your counters. That card is crazy, dude. They didn't scam last turn. Maybe this is just a all natural grief. Dingo Salon Constructor is trying and scam. I mean, I think trying and scam is fine. Like, so like the thing about Stalker and scam, right, is like one, like scam doesn't play a ton of fetch lands at the moment, and so you have to like warp the mana base a lot for it, which is a problem. But Stalker is better than Ragavan in the scam mirror. I think this is like, unless like red card count just gets too low at that point, I think this is almost definitely true that like if you have Stalker over Ragavan, you have an edge in the mirror, and having an edge in the scam mirror is like a pretty worthwhile thing to do. So, but I would say that that's like the main strategic point for it. Where some scale players could have went on one. I mean, it's like, you know, you had said Urza Saga target that's legendary. I think it's okay to go down to 1, but I've historically played 2 and been like pretty happy to draw a little bit more often. It's fine though. Okay, let's go to game 2. So my tentative plan in this matchup is to bring in some cheap 1-mana removal spells. I have a split where Tragic Slip can kill Fury sometimes. Can be a kind of a problem for decks like this. And then I want to go down on Priest of the Forgotten Gods. It can be, this card can kind of take over the game when you Cauldron it, but it's very difficult to untap with. And then I wanted to go like -3 Gravecrawlers, I think. Stalker also is, you know, not legendary, where like multiple Ragavan starts can be kind of issues. Like having 2 Stalkers in your opening hand is like pretty dang good. But yeah, I was trying to figure out a Ranger Captain build with Stalker. Also, I had a few different shells. I also really want to figure out a Stalker like Goblins like aggressive build with also like the red black Goblin yesterday was impressive too. The red black Goblin. I could just not remember the name of this stupid card. It is it's a little weird. But it was very good yesterday. Like it was very often like 2 mana. Its triggers are dealing like 9 damage to your opponent, and then it's also like a 2/2 Death Touch that's in play. This card was looking pretty good. So like maybe we can swap both of them into like a Grixis Shadow Shell, Rakdos Shadow, Rakdos like Scourge. But ideally, since they're both goblins, a like aggressive Goblin Shell could be cool. Lands, baby. It's on the mold to 6. What makes Celtic go have interest? Because it looks fine on the front of it. I mean, so this is kind of like, very simply put, it's like, let me see how to phrase this. It is a very aggressive 1-mana creature that doesn't die to Orcish Bowmaster or Ridden 6. This is like the most exciting thing, but like also like imagine that this is the card. It's a 1-mana 2/2 that gets one bigger at the beginning of each of your end steps. Imagine that is the entirety of the Stalker. That is very good. Menace is incredibly strong. This card is just like not blockable. It's gonna hit for 2, then 3, then 4, in a way that is just going to be very difficult for your opponent to interact with. That's the bolt. Yeah, but this is also the thing about 1-mana creatures. Like, if you spend 1 mana on your creature, your opponent spends 1 mana to remove it. It's an even trade. It's not like you are behind. Could play the other Bowmaster now for an extra damage, but I think that it's better to wait, since you can be a lot more resilient to Fury by waiting here. Voidwalker does stop the Singe, from my understanding. Got 3 cards in their hand. We put the counter, spread out the counters, maybe makes sense. Let's see, this is 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Circle's good. I would trust Dingo's opinion on Scam. Makes sense why it's maybe a little better on their shells. Yeah, I think the big problem with it in Scam is that like you're currently not. I think most gameless play like 6 fetch lands. Like having to play like so many more fetches is it's a problem. So this is nice that the Bone Crusher goes to the graveyard here. Now we can Cauldron it. Like no other removal spell is just like go into the yard. Also, my Bloodghast has haste. I have I think exactly 9 damage I can deal. And Scam, you also need Red Card Fury. Yeah, Red Card Fury count also a problem. Nice. Maybe I had 10 damage because I'm also second Scorn-Blade Berserker. Yeah, they reprinted Bloodghast in the Commander Ixalan thing. Game was too close to comfort. I mean, our deck is like pretty bad against Voidwalker and we don't have removal for it. This hand has removal for it. I feel fine about taking that one down. Carrion Feeder in a Scales deck. Yeah, I was trying to figure out if you could play Scales in a deck like this. I know Mr. Sari yesterday was saying that he was interested in trying that plan. Die, Voidwalker, die. So I'd love to be able to like slam a huge Souls of the Lost next turn. Do this now because the Bowmasters don't want to attack. So it's a 7-8 here. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm going to play my Ballista on 0 so this doesn't die to a Scammed Fury. I think it's correct. Deck posted a sweet Riblex sack deck with her here. Yeah, I've been working on it too. Kind of interested where Dak landed on it. Probably takes my Bowmaster, right? Which grows the Souls of the Lost, of course. Find another Bowmaster, which is pretty good. Let's just go ahead and get in for 9. So we haven't descended this turn. I think I'm still doing this. Could also have just main phase the Bowmaster and like played around in the dying effect a little bit better. Although this plays around an Undying effect kind of nicely because they'll like probably block Undying and then we can Bowmaster in response. Oh, although I should have played my fetch land first. Grow the souls. So they probably don't have an Undying effect in their hand. Forgot I had Bloodghast also. Does it make sense to main phase the Bowmaster? I think it's better to wait. Stomp, target me. Okay, let's go ahead and do this now so that we definitely don't play into an Undying card. Shun Shiari with 11, Fisher with the 19. Thank you, welcome back. So they definitely have an Undying effect. I'm not going to block. Or they have like a sweeper. Explosives on 2. It's a bummer. We can maybe Cottage back a Souls to the Lost though. If we draw another land. A little bit behind. Priest is an interesting draw, so they're going to pop the explosives. I'll hit them for 1. Their Bowmaster's down, so my Priest is a little bit more unlocked. We're going to spot as soon as we draw our next land. We can Cottage back a gigantic Souls of the Lost. We can also Ballista on 2 when we draw a land. We have a fetch land to get back our Bloodghast, so we can activate the Priest if they can't kill it. If we draw Cauldron, we'll have Priest available too. This is Ragavan? Okay, it's another Stomp. Probably should have got back the Bloodghast end of turn. I was thinking I wanted to wait for the Witch's Cottage though. At this point, I think it's just too risky for me to allow my opponent's top decked Griefs to like discard something. So let's just play to the board. Our Souls of the Lost Stalker good replacements for Raggoyf and Gen Saga. Seems like they're both really good at Ren. Souls of the Lost is not good in Gen Saga. Like you just don't have enough like good cards to discard or things to sacrifice. Also, like I don't know that you can get up to enough fetches for Souls in Gen Saga. Maybe you can, but like I feel like you want to have. I feel like if you're playing for Stalker, and if you're playing Stalker, you want to have like 12 fetch lands in your deck. The issue with downside. The issue is the downside is actually downside. Yeah, exactly. And here the downside is more of an upside, which is exciting. Okay. I think we. I have a good attack here, at least. So they're gonna Undying their Bone Crusher, I guess. So we're gonna put Souls of the Lost on top. Oh, okay. Just main phase this before they draw removal. Also plays around Bowmaster better. It's a main phase. Is a one of Unearth crazy in the deck? I mean Unearth is like not super exciting in a deck with no 3-mana creatures. We have 3-mana creatures in the sideboard. It is maybe good with Souls of the Lost, but yeah, just in general, I don't like to register Unearth in decks with no 3-mana creatures. So my opponent is in my draw step. Kolagon's commanding me, which is best Kolagon's command I've seen in a long time. So we have to just put a counter on the Ballista. Ping you once. Ping you twice. Sacrifice here. Discard my Souls of the Lost. My precious 2-mana 16 power creature. That being said, they're at 8 and I've got a 6/6 against Scam, which can be kind of hard for them to deal with sometimes. They have 4 cards in their hand. So they have a Fury. So if I could draw any creature or any creature or any land allows me to like make the Fury a chump blocker, which is good news because I have the Bloodghast in the yard. Wow, any creature or any land. How lucky. Or Cauldron. Right. Cave with the 36. Thank you, thank you. We have some removal in the deck. Yeah, Cauldron is actually better than a lot of the draws. Four damage to the Orcish Bowmaster. Yeah, Cauldron just wins the game because of Ballista. Although I'll take it 2 mana, 18-19. Yeah, Kolaghan's command all of a sudden very good again. Fury very bad. Nice that we don't get got by an explosives either. Cost of the 2, Beagle with the 7. Thank you. Welcome back. Not worth holding souls here. You want to you want to not cast Souls of the Lost against the grief deck? when you don't get got by engineered explosives? What the fuck are they gonna do? They have to have like we will play around Path to Peril. Oh, I thought that'd sack the creature. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you can sack any permanent. Yeah, you can sack a land. Wait, this is exciting. We're 2-0 against against Beans and Scam, and we've been stumbling and mulliganing a ton and like having a lot of one-landers. And like Flood game 1 against Beans, pretty bad. Or not pretty bad, a little bit. So that's exciting when one big problem, I guess maybe you're just like so in on Skirk Prospector you need a tutor for it. Probably won't get this one on the draw. Yeah, Fecundity is a very interesting card advantage engine in these decks, but it's also like it's interesting, but it has also kind of like never really done anything, so maybe not where you want to be. It's a cool idea for sure. Okay, so we're against Scales. Don't have a ton. We have removal and we have needles. Fulminator can be okay against them. The Priest of Felrights is kind of your best plan, although I'm kind of interested to see how a gigantic Souls of the Lost does against them. Probably not that well, actually. But we'll see. I'm just kind of looking around a little bit more. I don't know, dude. It's like Vengevine for our deck? Maybe. We only have one discard outlet, actually. I don't know. I'm gonna say not very likely that that's the case. Okay, so because I have Carrion Feeder to sack my Supplier, I can pretty easily just discard my Vengevine. Do you think the Wilderness Wreck with Beans can have some lags? What is the biggest issues? I haven't seen a good Wilderness Wreck deck with Beans. I just in general don't think you should play Wilderness Wreck in the Bean deck. Could be wrong. Too many deck techs. Yeah, we don't have. These are only 2 enablers for Vengevine. You need like a lot more discard outlets. You need to play like Lotleth Troll. And like you could play Lotleth Troll and Vengevine in this deck, but it's so you could cut Gravecrawler, but also cutting Gravecrawler when you're adding Vengevine is a little weird. So I'm gonna go play Carrion Feeder. Play Polluted Delta, trigger Bloodghast. Sacrifice Bloodghast, and I'm gonna sacrifice the Supplier before I crack the Delta, so that I can maybe mill over another Bloodghast. So now my Souls Lost is 11 power. I did mill over another Bloodghast. So now I can go Ballista on 0. Which sadly I have to exile from a yard so my souls is smaller. And then I have 5 Carrion Feeder Ballista activations available. Exciting to get to play a game where the deck can go off. Wasn't sacking Supplier before playing Delta better? No, I need to have 2 things in play so they can't kill my Carrion Feeder with Ballista. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck. I feel like this is a good draft. I would really like to see another Underworld Breach, maybe like -1 intent to +1 Underworld Breach. I've tried this deck in the past. It feels like it is like kind of far away from getting there. You maybe are able to play only one Prospector potentially, but the deck is like very fragile and like inconsistent, and that is not a great combo. So just sack the other Bloodghast now to make the Souls of the Lost bigger, I think. Attack you for 11. Doing great today, Reels. How you doing? And it's also cool in these kind of spots, like lands are good draws and spells are good draws. If they make a construct, we'll just ping it. Yeah, they just concede. Yeah, Souls is also just, it just like is a kind of busted card to play in this deck, which this may sound kind of silly, but the deck was like lacking a little bit of oomph, for lack of a better word. There's maybe a better word. I might try my Ballista also. They're gonna have their own ballistas and stuff. Will be 2 many slots to play in this deck with Cat Oven, Asma, Urza Saga. I mean that sounds like to me, Cat Oven, Urza Saga, 20 cards for Asmo, for Underworld Cookbook, for Ovalchase Devil, for Cat, for Oven, for Urza Sagas. It's kind of a lot, but you could try. Another one-lander. I'm pretty tempted to keep this on the draw since Priest of the Forgotten Gods is like so good in this hand and so good in this matchup, and I also have, you know, I can maybe miss one land drop. It's funny 2 and 4-2 Clunkly. We'll try 3 Breach, which has been overperforming. Yeah, you maybe just play 4 Breach to be honest. Breach Goblin Grenade also sounds kind of hype. Hector Hair, the Red God. It was okay. It was like pretty powerful, but you know, still 4 mana creature. I'm excited to try to build a sacrifice deck with it. Played a lot of sacrifice decks on the channel over the years. All right, land. Yeah. Also kind of feeling a little bit like I gotta get a little kind of lucky to win this matchup on the draw. Maybe that's not the case though. So they get a Grafdigger's Cage, which will stop my Bloodghast, but I boarded out my Gravecrawler, so really not that scary, honestly. Maybe a card they're overestimating. That being said, we basically need to draw land for Priest this turn, and they now have Ballista to kill Priest, so not looking good. The new Goblin gets slotted into Night of Sweet Revenge Brew. This Goblin. Need Trumpeting Carnosaur brews. Well, I was talking about doing the like scam thing with Carnosaur. Like just play 4 troll, 4 of the dinosaur, and persist. People are already doing that, so I'm gonna try to like see if I can get like a more interesting version together. Potentially one that plays Ephemerate. Like discovering into Ephemerate is like a lot better than discovering into a scam spell. So I'm working on it. I don't really feel like I am super close to having a build that's like very different from what other people are doing and interesting. But, you know, we'll see. Neighbors that involve Sunken Citadel. Not really. I'm not a big believer of Sunken Citadel, I guess. There's a lot of cards that it works with, but it also enters tapped, and I've just tried to figure out if there's like an amulet Sunken Citadel deck you could do. It doesn't really seem like there is. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to Souls of the Lost this turn. Citadel seems pretty good in coffers. Well, That's the thing, though. It's not a swamp. I don't know that the issue with coffers is being able to like activate coffers for 1 less mana when you have Urborg in play and 4 lands in play, right? This seems like a little unnecessary, and you're playing like another tap land. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Oh, for Field of Ruin. Okay, I mean, yeah, that's a good point. 3 lands. Well, I mean, sure. If, okay, then you can have then you have 4 mana on turn 3. Sure. Sure. Okay. Hard to imagine they are not finding lethal here. We go to game 3. Get you on the play for game 3, which is a huge deal in these matchups. How's Confluence Aim deck feeling so far? So we played 1 league with it. We 4-1'd. At the moment, I think that I would probably play the Up the Beanstalk build over it. I think it's I want to try to experiment more with Cosmic Confluence though. Like the card was good, and we had like we 4-1 the league we played. It also it didn't feel like it doesn't really feel like, to be honest, that it's going to be a huge difference either way. Like if you end up playing the Confluence build, or if you end up playing the Beanstalk Escape to the Wilds Emrakul build, it's like I feel like there's just not a huge difference either way. And like, I don't know, it's tough to like really feel like, oh yeah, we definitely won this game because we had Confluence, or not. It's so tough because it's like these kind of decks that have these like established powerful packages they're so difficult to evaluate because you just get hard carried by the cards, for lack of a better word, I guess. Go, Stalker, go. They just Tragic Slip that, attack for 4. Now I'm going to play a gigantic Souls of the Lost. Still didn't mill over anything super relevant for the Cauldron. It's nice, though, that my opponent has some relevant cards in their deck for Cauldron. Two Hardened Scales, huh? And a Zabaz. So they can't attack. Insane draw. I think I just have lethal, right? Because now I have Revolt for Tragic Slip, or Morbid for Tragic Slip, so I can Tragic Slip Zabaz. Okay, it's not lethal, but can I make them chump block the souls? Not quite. Am I gonna die on the backswing if I do this? Is it maybe better to just Tragic Slip the Patchwork, pay 2, then Cauldron next turn? How often do I die to Harden 2 to Ink Moth if I don't have like a Walking Ballista available? Alright, so this is gonna modular 9 power. I play Agatha Soul Cauldron. Let's say that they block the Stalker. I can put a counter on Souls of the Lost. Yeah, I'm 1 damage short. So I died a land Ravager if I don't turn my Stalker. Yeah, I think what I do is I Tragic Slip Zabaz. Doesn't Patrick come in 9/9? Yeah, I have a 9/10. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, so Stalker has Menace. Oh, right, yeah, Stalker has Menace. So they can't block the Stalker, so they have to block the Souls, or they die. Because if they block the Soul, if they can't block Stalker. If they don't block Souls, they're dead. Okay, yeah, so never mind. This was easy, actually. I don't want to use my Cauldron until my opponent's turn, otherwise my Souls dies, though. That's okay. The Goblins deck is not really an aggressive deck either, and Stalker is like, a very aggressive card. Interesting hand. I'm definitely gonna keep. I don't know what I lead on. I kind of want to lead on Swamp Carrion Feeder into Fetchland Stalker. Didn't Bloodghast reprint EDH? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Bloodghast is $3, man. I bought them for a lot more. It's okay though. I got to use them. Is most matter make this good TM? Yeah, it's 2 bodies for Carrion Feeder. It has +1 counters for Walking Ballista, Cauldron stuff. No changes to the format, huh? We're kind of okay against this. Because you make it so far yesterday. Well, I mean, I got last yesterday or 4th yesterday, but it was cool. I'm happy to make top 4. Super League was super fun. Congratulations to Corey. It's a fun event for sure. Hopefully, I can plan another one someday. Top 4 is 4? Yeah, for sure. I take my 2 drops. Taking Souls of the Lost seems, based on how good it was against them last time, although it's maybe not like as amazing in this hand. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have anything to sack for value or discard either, I guess. Yeah, so let's, I guess we should plan to do the old Bowmaster ping double block. And it's kind of nice that if that doesn't work, we have Carrion Feeder to like sack our Bowmaster too. My playtest trump card. Yeah, I haven't got around to trumpeting Carnosaur yet. I think that the scam style builds with those decks have potential. I kind of want to try a build with Ephemerate too, like. But it's just a little bit early to say, I think. Okay, so we're taking 4 down to 15. They've got 3 cards in their hand. Seemingly they have a play available to them. Maybe a Fury with no scam. Land is not a bad draw here. Pretty sure we sacked the land. We curve out a 2 anyways. And just having the extra creatures in play in this, like, you know, situation where racing is nice. It's been a 5/6. Nice to, you know, be in a spot where any top deck discard of theirs is not going to be that effective. Also nice to be like grief scammed plus bolted, and you know, we're kind of ahead. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be close. I don't know. I think we're ahead. Save the metagame. If they attack with grief, they like just definitely have Fury, right? So we should just, and we kind of read that they had Fury last turn, so I think that no blocks makes the most sense. Although maybe they feel like they can bluff a Fury. If we draw a fetch, then we can also Stalker to kill Grief. Okay, Supplier means the Souls of the Lost is getting +7/+7 this turn because we can sack it to the Carrion Feeder. We also milled a Bloodghast. Yeah, another scam effect maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that would necessarily make that attack. Yeah, they have to chump block the Souls. So let's just get it with everything. Remember, every single permanent in the deck is a or every single card in the deck is a permanent. Okay, do I want to sack the Supplier now? I think no. Yeah, Souls has been really, really good. It's just so perfect in this deck too. Oh yeah, imagine this deck with Lurrus, dude. Oh my gosh. This would be like actual like tier 1 I don't know, not tier 1, but I don't know, maybe. It'd be good, but it'd be sick with Lurrus. Yeah, Souls is pretty good against Scam. Our Slip the only non-permanent. So yeah, the removal spells are in the sideboard. But yeah, we have some removal spells in the sideboard. But game 1, every single card in the deck is a permanent. And I feel like I should at least get Umori for having all permanents. Wait, there's not a companion that's all permanents, is there? There's Kahira, so if you have all non-creatures, you get Kahira. But not super intentionally. Inspiring Tyke, thank you for the 3 months. Yeah, one day we'll get back to the Dark Pool. Are Crusaders inside a must? I wouldn't say that they're a must, but I like them for like the bean matchups. Oh yeah, that was Luris. Right. Well, not really. Yeah, we played the Anvil deck. I had to call it like a little early. I mean, if their last two cards are like Fury Scam, good beats, I guess. Did him over another Bloodghast. We still okay, so they can at this point they can't kill two creatures though. It is very cool to have like to just still have two creatures in play playing a deck like this after getting Fury scammed and like they have to chump block. Yeah, so we get to save our Carrion Feeder. If we draw a fetch land, I think they may be dead. Well, no, not dead. Cauldron for Ballista would be lethal. I'll take, any relevant play though. Joho with the 6 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Okay, so this is 13, 14. Next turn, this is also lethal attacker, which is nice. They have no cards in their hand. It is actually very exciting to beat Grief Scam into Fury Scam playing like a weenie deck like this. They also had a Bolt and a Fable. It's pretty cool. That's what you get with the 2-mana 13-14. What we needed to beat Fury all along. Just listen, what are you going to do against my 13-14 Fury? How weak is this deck to Leyline Avoid? Does it have any answers? It has the answers of attacking. Yeah, you're pretty bad against Leyline. Not all of your cards use the graveyard. Most of them do. You're a mono black deck. You can play Feed the Swarm maybe. There's something nice about playing decks like this too, where like people don't know exactly what's going on. Yeah, you still like Carrion Feeder, Bowmasters, Priest, Ballista. I don't know. You're bad against Leyline of the Void. Would Grist be worthwhile splash? I don't know. People fucking love Grist so much, but it's like so high on the curve. Like you have to play Grist and lands. People are like always so. Maybe we keep in all 4 priests just because of the Leyline situation. I'm gonna trip one though. I do with Leyline. I dodge it or I attack them with my dopey creatures. Well, we could also be like splashing for answer. I don't know. This deck is weak to Leyline of the Void. I don't think I want to play Feed the Swarm. Although it is nice that Feed the Swarm kills. It does kill Voidwalker and kills Leyline. So maybe you should be playing Feed the Swarm. Like the fact that it kills both out of Scam is like we said this recently for a different deck is kind of a big deal. Thingamabobby with the 8 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, Thrillseeker is interesting. I think it's like a 4-drop though. It's so high on the curve. I'm not like a big fan of it. How's Priest been relevant? We played this shell before the new cards, and Priest is very, very good with Cauldron, and like it can get pretty crazy in this deck. How good do you think Stalker is? I think Stalker is really good. It's been performing very well for me so far. In like kind of simply put, like it is a it's a 1-drop in Modern that's like good and playable and doesn't die to Ren and 6 and Orcish Bowmaster, and that is a really big deal. They take my Tragic Slip, so we probably think they have Voidwalker, right? You have a lot of removal in the deck for Voidwalker. Is the curve here low enough that Confidant might be alright? It will not be alright. Dark Confidant is not a good Modern card, period. Souls of the Lost would be a good draw. Is it Unearth sick in this build? I've never felt like Unearth is a sick card in any deck that has no 3-drops. If you're worried about Voidwalker, why not cast Supplier? I don't know. Like, we don't have Souls of the Lost in our hand. We still have to remove the thing at some point. Stalker. Oh yeah, we can also use the Stalker to kill Voidwalker because it'll be a 2/2. But we have to get the Descend. So I guess you always play Stalker turn 1. Ooh, I can at least fizzle the Orc Army with the sack here. Can you unearth Grist? You can unearth Grist. Please tell me how you're adding Grist and unearth and extra lands to the deck, though. Like, what cards are we cutting? It's maybe possible, but that's what you're suggesting. Yeah, just add Yorion. Sadly, didn't mill any Souls of the Lost for our Witch's Cottage. We have nothing good to Cottage back, unfortunately, so we just have to play a 2/2 Ballista. Molten Collapse. Dead. Okay. Beat Scam Grief in a Scam Fury game 1. Guess you're not going to beat it every time. The Thoughtseize too, to like protect the Scam Fury, was pretty brutal. Is Ballista too good for Pioneer without Heliod? You're asking the wrong fella. You're asking the wrong fella. Ballista for 1 there might have lived. What? Ballista for 1 there might have lived. You will live. Ballista for 1, you're going to live. Red Splash for Claim Fame. Yes, please. Okay, please. What are we cutting? What's the weak part of the deck? You can maybe trim a Gravecrawler or 2. I'm not really that into Claim Fame. I think just don't have that many stuff. Call of the Death Builders also sucks. This is a card people suggest all the time, and it just isn't good. It's almost hilariously bad. The ratio of like Call of the Death Dweller suggestions to like how good it is. Like the amount of times people suggest it in combination with Bowmaster versus like. Okay, I failed to dodge Leyline. We probably do need to feed the Swarms in the sideboard, huh? But yeah, the ratio of like suggestions to like how good it actually is so funny to me. Look at the 7-card Leyline hand. The Priestess seems bad. Thank you for your comment. We've played a lot with Priestess. Priestess is pretty reasonable. She's very good with Cauldron. You go very crazy with it, and it's like a 2-mana creature. If you untap with it, it's great. And if they kill it, you can Cauldron it, and it's great. You know. And it's also like your most important card against Hammer and Scales and like a lot of your creature matchups. It's your most important card by a lot. Ballista for 1 would have lived because you would have taken damage for fetch and lived at 1. I mean, I guess I want to be able to play around an Undying effect, but I guess so. They pitch a Not Dead after all, which is kind of a dead card for them after all. Is Leyline almost mandatory in current meta? I would say no. I do think that Feed the Swarm is a card we'll add to for the next league. Okay. Interesting decision. Go Scorn-Blade Berserker, go. You got 3 cards. You cannot descend with Leyline in play, I believe. Maybe discarding Cauldron's better. I don't know. Both cards are pretty dead. Is Feed better than a Splash? Well, what's nice about Feed the Swarm is it kills Voidwalker and Leyline. It's kind of like the only thing that does that. You know what I mean? Go! Scorn-Blade Berserker, go! Like, I'm not going to bring in Assassin's Trophy against them. I guess you could play... maybe splashing for Celestial Purge is better, though. Terra Sunder? Yeah. Splashing for Purge also seems fine. Vanishing Verse? Yeah. What would Vanishing Verse hit that you'd like realistically sight it in for? That Purge misses. Def have a Fury? I mean, they have one card in their hand. I don't know if they definitely have anything. Titan? I don't know. I don't know if I would. Rest in Peace gets Vanishing Verse, but Rest in Peace is relatively non-existent in Modern. I don't think I could tell you the last time I saw Rest in Peace. It's a great draw. So let's get past the blocker phase here. And then I'm going to Bowmaster their Bowmaster so I can Cauldron it and get more damage in. Verse is good versus Hammer. Verse hits Beans and Salty Endurance. I mean, I'm just not boarding in Verse against the Bean deck, I think. Like 2 mana 1-for-1s are not good against them. And like hitting Purge is like really nice. Like, it's kind of interesting though. When it says GG, that's how you. It's also really nice that this is exiles instead of Feed the Swarm, so they can't like Undying affect their Voidwalker. You can also exile a Hidetsugu. Okay, I heard Hidetsugu, sure. I don't know, although Hidetsugu's damage is mostly done the turn it comes down. What are the 4 trophies of Black Fruit is against? Tron. Tron was more popular at the time. And what was good about Trophy is like it's like obviously keeps them off Tron and can kill Karn the Great Creator. I know it's like I hate to play Assassin's Trophy, but that was like the one time I ever felt like it was correct. I'd like to be on the play here. Do I block? Is Bliss still the extra for Sanctifier? We have poor Priest of rides despite everyone in chat hating on the card. You haven't seen it in action today though. The card is like very nice. I think we're not blocking. Get Bowmaster in hand. Stalker's becoming a 3/3. Soul's Loss is probably great against them, huh? Something like Calisel Sword, Red Splash you can burn, fling your souls. I don't know. I don't know. There's been a lot of suggestions for the deck. We maybe just we honestly just need to cook for a little while, right? 4-0. I think I'm pretty happy with the deck. I think that you do have kind of a weak link with Gravecrawler. I think Gravecrawler is the worst card in the deck, and we just got another 1-drop. You could maybe cut it. That being said, if you cut Gravecrawler, your suppliers are worse because you only have 4 cards to put into the graveyard for value. Dude, imagine we were on the play this game. 2 cards in the bottom, 2 cards in the bottom. Unlucky. So unlucky to miss on your land drop that many times. Call it the 35. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, I just kind of need the Sellsword against the counters. Yeah, maybe Sellsword is okay. I wish you got counters every match. It's nice that the Stalker is outside of heat range if they found a heat. Yeah, there's the heat. Oh, it's the Druid deck, too. Third period aid will get the job done. For sure. So we want to save the Bloodghast next turn for when it'll have haste, I guess. Yeah, so we can get the Cauldron down. I think we put a counter here. I might Cottage back Bowmaster next turn also. Stalker outside of bolt range, outside of heat range as well. They have 4 cards in their hand though. If they have a Murktide, the menace means this can't be blocked. What is this? Looks like a Murktide? Yeah, that is a Murktide. So I have lethal, right? With the Bloodghast. Menace is so hard, easy to underrate it. -4 color, -3 please, -4, +4 Tyvar, +1 Grist, +2 lands. Tyvar makes filling graveyard. I don't know. Tyvar is just like, Tyvar's okay. I like keeping the curve a little bit lower. I also really like Priest. Like Tyvars are also worse without Priest. Priest is really good with Tyvar. Cutting it doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Probably want some number of push on the draw. I want to trim at least the first Priest. And push is just so good against the Druid build too, I think. Let's try all of them on the draw, then maybe on the play more Gravecrawlers. I actually really like that this deck doesn't play any 3-drops and doesn't have to play like 21 lands, so I don't know. I know Grist like maybe is a card that a lot of people would include here, but it's a very slow card, and I really like how low this deck's curve is compared to playing Grist instead. But Grist could also just be like Susek, I don't know. Well, we could maybe try it at some point. Put it off stream. Alright, keep. So they put turn on Ragavan, we'll play Supplier turn 1, I guess. And then if not, we'll play a Stalker. Okay, there's the turn 1 Ragavan. Mill the Bloodghast. Thank you, Supplier. Would love to draw Souls of the Lost now. Does seem nice as a 2 of. I agree. Grist would be nice. Well, I'll chew it on some more. Probably won't play it today, especially because it does seem like the White Splash Reverse seems like actually very good. Good suggestion by chat. And so they probably don't have removal, right? They have another Ragavan. Okay, another 1-land Ragavan hand. When will you learn? When will you learn? Alright, let's get back our Bloodghast. Play a 1/1 Ballista, I think. Maybe have Spell Snare. No Spell Snare. What's white for? Vanishing Verse. Because we want a card against Scam that gets rid of Voidwalker and Leyline. And so we were thinking about Feed the Swarm, but I think there's just not much reason to not just splash a Godless Shrine. Do you need 2 Godless Shrines? You have 12 fetch lands. It's probably okay. It's probably okay, but you are a Stitcher Supplier deck, so it could get a little dicey. Do they have Narset in their deck post-board against me? Maybe we get Days Undoing. I don't know. Very surprised to see this card. Yeah, the Verse also is also like good against Murktide, and you could probably bring it in against Yawgmoth. Yeah, it's our first league with the deck. Very excited for this one today. Get a Preordain. Terra Center doesn't kill Voidwalker, at least for 4 mana it kills Voidwalker, which is so unappealing. Yeah, Esther loves that. When will you learn? Clip. It can't be Verse because with 12 fetches, you run into Blood Moon. I think it's so unlikely my opponent brings a Blood Moon against me, or keeps Blood Moon in against me. I think it's or at the very least, any card you splash for runs the exact same problem of making you weaker against Blood Moon. We're not playing any basics. Yawgmoth doesn't seem a good matchup. Yeah, that's been my experience. So Cauldron is good against them. Stalker is actually really good against them, so that's a new upgrade. Priest has its moments on the play, a lot worse on the draw. We have some needles on the sideboard, but yeah. Do you have basic plans for Blood Moon? Definitely not. I think I'm pretty happy if my opponent keeps in Blood Moon against me. Can even float white mana and verse in response. Verse before Blood Moon comes down. Very easy to have, swamp in play. Freaka's Liberation. I mean, I would play Feed the Swarm over Freaka's Liberation. This card's 2 mana. Wait, Stalker's a rogue? Oh, I didn't know that. It's kind of a big deal. Rogues are probably still not very good, but... Explosives on 1. I only have one drop in play. This doesn't make you sacrifice Planeswalkers. I'm going to take both at the Narset. They're less likely to pop the explosives now. Do I want to... I think I'm just going to get a basic swamp here. Just take the hit, I think. Two cards in opponent's hand. Seems pretty fine. Wow, another Bloodghast is such an insane draw here. I get to play a gigantic Ballista this turn too. Never mind. I get to bait with my Ballista here. Yeah, I think I keep just put another Ballista into my hand. Obviously we're kind of missing an attack, but I want to use my mana, and then they have a block if I don't do this anyways. Okay, then we're also going to play a 2 mana 14/15. Your turn. Nice. First league, first trophy. I was definitely a big believer coming into today. Sometimes you could be very excited for a deck doesn't go your way. So I'm excited that we got our first trophy with the first league. Ooh, new Molten Collapse. Door, what is this? Tom Bombadil? Wild, huh? Yeah, there was